My next guest is Robert Long, and Robert was recently banned by the Federation of Certified Security Guards. Robert, what makes you such an ineffective security guard as deemed by your peers?
Well, Gary, now listen. First of all, it's a bum rap by the Federation on me, because, for that matter, simply because I have some physical afflictions is why all this came down on me. For example, I have high blood pressure. Now, from that, I get nosebleeds. From time to time, you know, with the nosebleeds, I have to tilt my head back. My employer thinks I'm sleeping on the job. You know, my family has a history of diabetes, so I always have to carry candy bars with me, you know, in the event of an attack. I have prostate trouble. Because of that, I have to go to the toilet a lot. I mean, it's just a bum rap.
Well, now some of your employers, your accusers, accuse you of reading on the job.
Okay. Now, as you know, a security guard is very stressful work. I am just a seething tempest of emotions when I'm working. So therefore, I read the writings of Mahatma Gandhi. And because of that, you know, they think that reading on the job. But actually, I do that for meditation.
Fascinating. Is it possible for us to reenact a crime scene and to see how you handle the situation?
Sure.
All right. Now, do you normally sit on the job?
Yes, I conserve my energy. It's my way of meditating. I very rarely stand.
All right. Pretend I have, say, pretend I have here like a 6-pack of beer, and I'm walking out of a grocery store or sneaking by you. Okay. Let's see how you handle it.
Hey, hold on right there. Where are you going with that?
Okay, you got me. All right. It's my father's birthday, you know, and I wanted to get him a gift. So I don't have any money, and I just thought I had to run out with it.
Father's birthday, huh? My son never got me anything on my birthday. You know, what the heck? You know, go ahead and take it.
So that's it? You let me walk out of the store with the 6-pack?
Well, Gary, if I had stopped you, there would be a disturbance with the customers, a big commotion carrying on. There could have even been violence. I, you know, had to use my stick. Besides, the beer was on sale. You know, the merchants charge too much. You know, they're penny pinchers.
All right, now let's get more specific, Robert. How do you explain the time you were guarding the local car dealership and 7 Cadillacs were stolen?
Okay, here again. As you know, one of the important things on the job is good, strong coffee. Keeps you alert, awake. I have to have good, strong coffee. This particular dealership did not have good coffee at all. I complained about it. They did nothing. So I would go across the street to the 7-Eleven, get coffee over there, and it was while I was gone that these thefts took place. However, I did apprehend a young man stealing a piece of candy there. I got him.
All right. Now, how do you apprehend? How do you explain the time when the gentleman, you were guarding the Lucky supermarket, and the gentleman walked by you with 2 watermelons stuffed in his shirt, 1 in his pants?
Okay. Here again. Now, that particular day, I had on my blue tints, my eye tints, because my boss always wants me to look good. Now, these are for looks, they're not for vision. You know, besides, the guy put a good story on me, you know, said he had a glandular condition.
Another case involved you guarding a department store, and 2 guys walked by you carrying a big screen, a 48-inch TV. How do you explain that?
Okay, this was a special situation, special circumstance. One of the guys told me that their grandmother was quite ill, and she wanted to see as much of Ted Koppel as possible before she passed on.
All right, Robert, let's talk about some of the positive cases. Let's turn things around here. Of thieves that you've apprehended.
Okay, all right. Okay. I was working at a McDonald's once, and I noticed, because I'm very good at apprehending repeat offenders. I've got a good, I remember them.
Repeat offenders?
Yes. I was working at this McDonald's, and there was an elderly gentleman who come in each morning for coffee. And I noticed that after he would finish his coffee, he would then go up to the counter and ask for another cream. Now, this was his way of getting an extra cream. Followed him outside, persuaded him not to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Another occasion, once I was guarding a miniature golf course.
Yeah.
Now, there was a young man there, would go there on Sundays after church. He'd go there with his mother and play miniature golf. Now, as you know, on the 9th hole, when you sink the last putt on the 9th, the ball dropped and the game's over.
Into the little clown's mouth.
Right, into the clown's mouth. What he was doing was stopping the ball before it went into the clown's mouth so he could play an extra round. Here again, I put a stop to that.
Mm. And what was the case about the juveniles in the mall?
Okay, this was a ring of hardened third graders that would actually, they were like tilting and shaking the pinball machines to get extra games. So here again, these are documented cases where I have proved effective.
Well, Robert, after hearing your case, you present yourself here, I think you might be able to repetition the Federation of Certified Security Guards. This sounds like another example of unions just running amok.
Yeah.
All right, and thank you for coming out here and venting your spleen.
Well, thank you for hearing my story.
Robert Long, ladies and gentlemen.